Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi. So, I'm not even going to try and pronounce your name.
Okay. Let me do it for you.
Yes, please.
Please.
Perfect. My name is Yevheniia.
Yevheniia.
Yes, perfect. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, Yevheniia, welcome to BeerCon3. A double welcome because you've also been a sponsor of the organisation. So Yevheniia works for, or is the CEO of Hack and Proof, and she's joined us today to talk about the wonderful world of bug bounties and the impact, the profound impact that can have on an individual's career. So if you're ready,
Yep.
then the floor is yours.
Perfect. Let me share my screen then.
Please do.
Just a sec. Yeah, it should be okay now. Can you see it, just to confirm?
Yeah, we can see
Okay,
that.
perfect. Yeah, let me start on short intro. My name is Yevheniia. I'm a CEO of Bug Bounty platform, which we started 4 years ago. Now we work mostly on the fintech industry, especially crypto, and work with top industry players like different exchanges like FTX, different protocols, Avalanche, VeChain, and others. Our community of ethical hackers now more than 6,000 hackers, white-hat hackers. And yeah, I started my career in cybersecurity don't remember, like 9 years ago, and created a lot of local chapters of DEF CON, of us, different conferences in cybersecurity for cybersecurity talks for students, and doing a lot of work to educate local community here and involve more and more people into bug bounties. And today I want to tell you more about what the benefit of bug bounty hunting, what is it, and how it actually can help your bug bounty career. So let's start from the beginning. Probably a lot of us know the problem that when you're new in the industry or just a student, it's a problem when you need to get experience in order to get job. And in order to get experience, you need to get the job. And the problem is, it's like a circle, and for newcomers, it's definitely difficult to enter this sphere and getting some experience which will count it like in your resume before going to any job. So how to start that and how bug bounties actually could be helpful here. So all of us can participate in this world of bug bounties because it's open to anyone, like the student, to developers, to just fans of crypto, where we're working actively, and how it can be helpful. You can first, of course, you can find vulnerabilities because like bug bounties are open to everyone. You see the scope, you see what's which vulnerabilities companies are looking for, and you can actually test your skills there, and it's like legal. So it's first. Also, what you can do and how bug bounty can be helpful here is about like writing reports, because by writing reports, you understand how these vulnerability reports and what's needed for like companies is formatted. And for example, while someone found a vulnerability in a program, what they do, they go with the like validation steps, like description of the vulnerability. They also determine the severity by CVSS. They also choose the category of the vulnerability, which is by CWE, and like proof of concept. So generally, it's like description of the vulnerability and how it could be prepared in the other part of the problem laptop, it could be understandable. Also, for bug bounties, definitely there's quite a few tools that can help you to find vulnerabilities, to make your process of getting these vulnerabilities easier and faster, and definitely test a lot of different scenarios about looking for vulnerabilities and working with a lot of different companies. Because while you're a bug bounty hunter, like thousands of different programs are open to you, and you can interact with a lot of companies. And they actually inviting hackers to cooperate with them. They asking for their help. And that's pretty cool because You know, when you're knocking the door where no one is waiting for you, it's not good. And it's kind of prohibited in bug bounties and general insecurity when you're doing some testing without any authorization. But in bug bounty, you have this authorization and you can work with different companies because they ask you to do that. So what about bug bounty platforms and how they actually help you? There are quite a few bug bounty platforms on the market where you can test your skills, and actual bug bounty platforms is kind of mediator that helps hackers to communicate with companies in the proper way. Because from both parties there could be some issues, and definitely that's not what you want when you're just starting. It's better to use some platforms which help you to communicate, and in this communication you can definitely find the way how to do it in the proper way. So in the bug bounties, you work with real issues, with real products, with real businesses, and it's good to get experience because a lot of our hunters, for example, they mention this bug bounty experience just on their LinkedIns and their CVs, and it's good because when you see that the person doing like bug bounties for 2-3 years, that sounds a lot because definitely he knows what he do, because like spending 2-3 years for bug bounties, that's quite a lot. And if you do that properly and you have like proper like ranks, Hall of Fames, like write-ups, whatever, that's definitely influence a lot to when you are looking for a job. And also what is good about bug bounties and these like just bug hunters communities, that they are creating common tools that they are sharing, putting them on GitHub, and you can use a lot of stuff which is already open sourced, and you can use that to find vulnerabilities. And definitely what is also cool about bug bounty community, that a lot of people just sharing what they found. There is in some platform you have this kind of open stream of reports, disclosed reports, where you can see all these scenarios that hackers are testing, the tool they are using, like some specific stuff about testing. So it's kind of open community where you can get a lot. Just you just need your curiosity and willingness actually to do that. Mostly bug bounty is about, of course, except like doing research, like testing new tools and approaches. It's a good playground because you have like thousands of domain names, thousands of applications where you can test your new tools, and it's legal. And also you can build different case studies based on different industries, because you can work with banks, airlines, e-commerces, crypto exchanges, like some hardware stuff. And it's pretty cool because you have so many different experiences and industries, and even like applications that you can work with. That's pretty cool because you don't need to go to work for some airline actually to be able to test the application. And it's cool because you can apply your knowledge there in the bug bounty and get some profit, some knowledge and experience. In most cases, by our experience, hackers can train their attention during bug bounties because all bug bounty programs has pretty clear scope where they mention which applications, domain names, IP addresses, whatever company wants to test and which they don't want to test. For example, there are a lot of cases just because of really low attention level that hackers look for vulnerabilities not at the right endpoints and report something that's out of scope. Because in every policy we have in-scope vulnerabilities and out-scope vulnerabilities, because not for all vulnerabilities companies are willing to pay. They are willing to pay for the programs and for vulnerabilities where they see the impacts about that. And that's pretty important because you can spend a lot of time and then just because of low level of attention, you understand that you tested not that endpoint, and this endpoint is out of scope. And also it's very important to follow the program updates, because in some cases, by our experience as well, when someone found a lot of vulnerabilities in one endpoint, they usually put this endpoint out of scope. to be able to fix everything and then put it back to in scope. So in most cases, bug bounties is about attention test as well, because you need to follow just rules. Because when you're going side back, you can get into trouble, because it's also about legal stuff. Because testing something is, you should have like approval for that. For example, when we do pen tests, we all time we get approval for doing this intrusion work, because it's illegal if you don't have it. And by our statistics, for the last 4 years, there were found like around 1,000 vulnerabilities, and the average price of vulnerability is around $500. And that's pretty cool, because you can spend like minutes or hours and get this money. Of course, if you're experienced enough, but in order to get experience, you also can do that. We have a lot of cases when just newcomers, because of their, another way of thinking, they found vulnerabilities and get their first money on bug bounty. Not because they have like pretty cool technical skills, because bug bounties is also about testing business logic, which is really important. It's about different access controls, about different access and different workflows, how it works. When you're using some application and see that something is not going well or something is varied, you probably can test that and see if the company has the bug bounty and report it. If it's something about security issues, because you can do the bug bounty, like your job, but sometimes you're just using some applications for music, for video, for whatever, and you see something wrong, because your hacker mind tells you that something could be wrong here, and I can see what's wrong and test it. But before, it's there to check if they have bug bounty and if they are willing actually to accept your report. And the another interesting thing that bug bounties is a part of that, but generally, like vulnerability disclosure industry is like bigger, and you can not only look for bug bounty, but also for vulnerability disclosure policy, for security text on the websites, and trying to see if the company actually use some best practices about working with hackers and being transparent on this market. So what's behind these bounties, and what you actually can get with doing bug bounties? So definitely you can develop some research tools which can be used in other cases. I can tell you a story here. One of our hackers, he started like a QA engineer, and he switched to like mobile QA. And from that point, he was curious about mobile security vulnerabilities. He started to work into that industry in some security consulting company, and started to do bug bounty. He done, I guess, like couple of years. He made like millions on like mobile vulnerabilities with his scanner. And now he's doing the startup where he uses this scanner to help other hackers actually to find vulnerabilities, to report them, and to get bounty, to get more knowledge on that. And also he's suggesting his scanner to enterprises where he found vulnerabilities before, and trying to help them to make this process more automatic and security more robust. So a lot of guys actually sometimes lack of motivation to do bug bounty because when you are not finding vulnerabilities for a long time, that's definitely the motivation. But once you found something cool, you can find more and more like every time. And also, what's cool about that you can learn every time. So, for example, a lot of hackers just do mobile or web bug hunting. But now on the market, there is more and more like crypto programs, which is smart contracts, blockchain protocols, and other stuff. And it's where you can like enhance your knowledge and go deeper in this stack of technologies and understand more, because the competition there is definitely lower than in the like classical bug bounties with web and mobile. And also what we see, we heard a lot of stories from our hackers that they started with bug bounties, doing it like for a couple of years, and then they just applied to Facebook or Twitter or like some huge companies or TikTok, and they work now as their application security engineers or even triage guys, which means that before they were on the other side of the screen submitting these bugs, and now they are helping company to actually validate all these vulnerabilities from hackers. And it's pretty cool because definitely this industry is quite new, but still there are a lot of opportunities. And when you have this relevant experience, you can apply to companies where they already implemented bug bounty approach. And by Gartner predictions, it would be like more than 50% of enterprises which is going to use bug bounty in the coming years. So now it's like around, I don't remember, but this like 2-3%, just 2-3%. When you're starting this approach, this crowdsourcing approach to security, definitely in a couple of years you can find more and more job and actually get your first experience with that, because it's just about your desire to do. Yeah, so we just gathered some links for developers and for beginners, actually how they can switch to security and where they can try their skills. It's also about theoretical knowledge and also some about vulnerable labs where you can try your skills. And I will share this presentation afterwards to be able to go through that. So also we gathered some information regarding podcasts where you can listen, do some challenges and other stuff, where you can go deep into this industry, understand what's going on, which programs, which tools, which like educational platforms you can use, and just go deeper in the sphere and understand what's going on. Yes, this is about tools and labs where you can actually apply your knowledge and test it. I'm pretty sure you heard about a lot of them. We just make short conclusion of what we use, how our hackers work, what they recommend, and you're welcome to test all that stuff. Yes, so we're actively developing our community of hackers and working on different academies and educational materials, how to involve more engineers into bug hunting and security testing. So you're always welcome to join our community. And also for all beer lovers, we are doing the network party in Lisbon during the summit. So if anyone there, just join us. We'd be happy to meet you all in person. Yep, I'm done. I'd be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Yevheniia. Really good, really interesting. Hopefully it's got the attention of people that are interested in the bug bounty environment and that community. So wonderful. Have we got any questions?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
All right. So the question here from Nolly is, how do you guide young people who arrive expecting to make a real big payday from the start?
So definitely when you're starting, you should work more on your reputation, on your statistics, work with different programs and get, some experience, because everyone is looking for experienced hackers, but definitely for open and public programs, everyone can participate and get their first Hall of Fames, ranks, and other stuff. So just start and to look for vulnerabilities.
So, yeah.
I have a question. So how do you approach the bug bounty community from the perspective of sort of educating them on what's important? Because I get hit up every couple of weeks from so-called has bug bounty people, and they're going to say something like, your website supports an insecure cipher suite. Please pay me $250 US.
Yeah. Or missing headers or some settings. Yeah, we know that.
I get that all the time. Yeah.
Definitely, it's a problem of the industry, I would say. It's more about educating community in the way we can do, other platforms or other engineers. But if you want to get real results, you definitely won't do that, because it doesn't work. On the other side of the screen, there is still guys who knows what they do, and all this emails doesn't make sense. It's just waste of time for both parties, honestly, in most cases. By our experience, we received so many of them, like 98%, I would say, was useless. Only like 2% it was by emails, because usually they are trying like missing headers or SPFs or something they can usually try with scanners. It doesn't work. Everyone can run a scanner, and the importance of bug bounty in the hacker brain, because that's the business logic vulnerabilities are the most interesting when you can go deeper in the product and technology, understand how it works, and find something how to bypass it. Like usually just use your hacker mind to find the backdoor, not run a scanner. Like everyone can run a scanner. It's not what brings you money.
I have another question, and it's sort of a bit of a pivot. I'm not aware of any particularly good scanners for mobile applications. So I'm wondering, is that an emerging space then in the bug bounty community? And if it is, how do we reconcile a app that has vulnerabilities versus the Android or even that other company that rhymes with Apple?
Can
in terms of like,
here?
please, yeah.
Okay, good. So the hacker I mentioned, he is top one on the Google bug bounty program, and he has his own scanner, which is mobile application scanner. That's how he found all these vulnerabilities, and now he's moving to enterprise. It's called Oversecured. He has Android and iOS scanning, and there are like a lot of top enterprises who works with him.
Cool. So I guess the follow-up to that is I wanted to differentiate between finding a bug bounty in a app versus finding a vulnerability in an underlying operating system. I mean, clearly you do both, but I guess what is the ones that are paying out more? Is it an app that is, 300,000 installations, or is it a operating system level vulnerability?
Definitely, it's different spheres and different specialists and skills that you need, and both spheres are good, interesting, but of course more is where more like harm for the users and the level of enterprise and other stuff, because like for 0 days they can pay millions, and the other interesting stuff, that's millions of course in these top giants. But in crypto now, that's insane, because for finding vulnerability in smart contract, it can give you millions. Just recent, last week, it was 10 million or something bug bounty for smart contract vulnerability. Because in this smart contract, they hold a lot of money, billions. And of course, they are willing to pay for vulnerabilities, because in other way, they just lose money in their users. But it's pretty specific sphere. You should have specific knowledge. But it's really emerging. There are so many companies and so few hackers who can do that. So it's really good.
One of the things
where to invest your time and knowledge right now.
Scott.
I wasn't going to speak, but it looks as if we're all super excited to ask you loads of questions.
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah, go, Sean, go.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. So I had a question. Doing bug bounties can be really frustrating, I imagine, especially for those beginning out, if they're not going to find something. And how do you, or what sort of advice do you want to give out in terms of trying to get people staying motivated so they can just keep at it and hopefully find something that pays off eventually?
Yeah, definitely. There is a really frustrating when you can't find something for some time. But it's also, it's work on each person, and what we do, we're trying to motivate to find more vulnerabilities and help hackers doing some educational stuff, doing some joint hacking into different programs. So it's okay. You should just accept it. You can't find vulnerabilities all the time, because probably it's not about you. It's about just very good security of this application. Or because 1,000 hackers already checked that. Of course, the security level is higher. just switch a program, switch attention, just go relax. I don't know, doing something and then go back to that and do what you love.
Cool.
Great. My question was, my observation, I think, and question, is one of the things I really love about bug bounties and and bug bounty programs is this idea that it incentivizes hackers in a positive way. So rather than them become criminal and hack and hold companies to ransom and all that kind of stuff, they hack through ethical channels using recognized platforms or just directly with the organization, but not missing headers. But the idea is that it moves people away from a criminal direction and into a completely legitimate direction. So in your experience, are you seeing that being the driver and the motivator for people to do it the honest way?
Yes, definitely, especially in crypto, because you can steal a lot of money, but the problem is you can't withdraw them easily. And you should go through bug bounties. You have no other way, because if you hack some money and it would be blocked on all exchanges and other stuff, of course, you can find some ways, but it won't get you, legal money. You would be definitely tracked, and you never know what's happened after that. So definitely we see positive change, because while the companies are adopting bug bounties, more hackers and more just engineers see that and can legally participate, because they just using some application and found vulnerability. What they should do with that? Of course, they can just leave it and don't do anything with that. But if you can get money of it and it's legal, and you see the company is actually open to receive vulnerabilities, why not to do that in the legal way? And definitely, the bounty started around 8 years ago, and definitely there's a positive change into this ethical way of hacking and working with hackers. Because for a lot of people, hackers, it's just someone in black hoodies and really criminals and very dangerous person. But in fact, it's not. It's just curious programmers, curious guys who wants to help, but probably help themselves, not the company. Because there is no legal ways how to help these companies, and this problem is definitely evolving, and more companies trying to do that.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, I think we're out of questions, so I'd just like to thank you, Yevheniia.
Thank you very
talk.
much. Yeah.
Thank you.
We've had some, again, like with all the other speakers, we've had some wonderful feedback in the Twitch chat. So thank you for participating. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting. Wish you luck with all the other day.